Oh, have you heard about the MQ-9 Reaper drone? It's also called the Predator B. It's a really advanced unmanned aerial vehicle, a UAV made by General Atomics Aeronautical Systems. Okay, this name might be scary for you people in the beginning, but what if we tell you this is the coolest we ever saw? Yes, you're hearing me right. Want to know more about it? Then jump in with us in the insane features of this drone. Let's begin. The MQ-9 is a really impressive aircraft. It has all these cool advanced features and can do so many different things. That's why it's become such a popular choice, especially in modern warfare. This military drone is really something. It just goes to show how aerial technology is always changing and getting better. The ongoing upgrades and adaptations that it goes through really reflect how global conflicts are constantly evolving too. The MQ-9 Reaper is actually bigger, heavier, and more powerful than its predecessor, the MQ-1 Predator. Also, this aircraft has a really powerful turboprop engine. It gives it a boost in speed and allows it to carry a whopping 15 times more ordnance payload. The MQ-9 is really impressive because it can do so many different things, like counterterrorism, surveillance, and precision strikes. The aircraft is actually controlled by aircrew who are stationed at ground control stations. They can control it remotely either by flying it themselves or by letting it fly autonomously. The US Air Force has this cool strategy where they're constantly working on improving and keeping the MQ-9 Reaper up to date. It used to be mainly used for counterterrorism and surveillance, but now they're making it even more awesome to be a big help in major warfare situations too. The reason for this change in focus is because global threats are always changing and evolving. Potential adversaries are constantly improving their air defense systems, so we need to adapt accordingly. The MQ-9 has been constantly improved over the years to stay ahead in a changing world. One cool thing they did was add a universal weapons interface to the drone. Now it can carry all sorts of bombs and missiles. This makes the platform more flexible and adaptable in various operational environments. The Air Force has also been working on making the MQ-9 more survivable and resilient by adding retrofitting and hardening technologies. We've been working hard to counter any jamming attempts from the enemy and make sure our drones can handle tough conditions during long missions. Also, they've added upgrades to the electro-optical infrared sensor, which makes it even better at intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. Another cool thing they've done is adding air-to-air weapons onto the MQ-9 Reaper. If you add the AIM-9X air-to-air missile, the drone can now engage targets that are not directly in front of it. It can also go after enemies that are behind or to the side of the aircraft, even if they're not within its direct line of sight. Oh, this feature really helps the MQ-9 out. It makes its defensive capabilities even better and allows it to handle those tricky airspace situations. Also, the MQ-9 has this cool, advanced guided technology that lets it fly with up to 8 Hellfire missiles, so it can carry more weapons now, which is pretty awesome. The drone has been upgraded to carry different kinds of munitions. It can now handle AGM-114 Hellfire, 500-pound laser-guided GBU-12 Paveway 2 bombs, GBU-38 JDAMs, and even a new International Navigation Systems guidance kit. Pretty cool, right? The advancements in aerial technology have really pushed the boundaries and led to something groundbreaking. General Atomics Aeronautical Systems just announced a cool upgrade for the MQ-9. They're adding short takeoff and landing, STOL, or STOL, capabilities to it. How awesome is that? This innovation is pretty cool because it would actually make the MQ-9 the first UAV in its class that can take off from big deck amphibious assault ships. To make the drone STOL ready, you just need to add a wing and a tail kit. It's super easy to attach or remove, so you can switch between conventional and STOL operations in no time. This upgrade is super exciting because it's going to make the drone even better. It'll give the drone a much longer range and make it way more flexible. This means we'll be able to use it in all sorts of different situations. So many new possibilities. You know what's really exciting? The MQ-9 Reaper is being adapted for short takeoff and landing capabilities. Can you imagine how this could totally change naval aviation, especially for the US Navy and Marine Corps? It's pretty awesome. Being able to take off from amphibious assault ships, even the ones with shorter decks, would give the military a bigger range and allow them to reach regions that were previously hard to access. The expansion of capability would be especially useful in situations where there aren't many or any traditional runways available. Does the US Navy have these awesome ships called amphibious assault ships? They're super important because they help the Navy project power and carry out military operations in areas close to the shore, like the littoral and coastal regions. Oh, and you know what's really cool about them? They can actually carry Marine AV-8B Harrier jump jets or F-35B Lightning IIs. These jets are super awesome because they can do short takeoffs and vertical landings. Having this capability gives them a really unique advantage in expeditionary operations. Integrating STOL-capable MQ-9 Reapers onto these ships would totally boost their intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance capabilities. It means they'll have continuous and long-range coverage to support all sorts of missions. Pretty cool, right? The Pacific Ocean is a huge and important area, especially for the United States. We worried about possible conflicts with countries like China, who are becoming more powerful. In the Pacific, there are some areas that are really far away and hard to reach. That's why it's super important to keep a close eye on them all the time. It helps us stay aware of what's going on and protect our national interests. In this situation, the MQ-9 Reaper's ability to take off and land in short distances, STOL capability, could be extremely valuable. So basically, the Reaper could be a really important part of the team by using its surveillance abilities to connect different naval groups and share important information, even when they're not in direct sight of each other. It's like a networking superhero, making sure everyone stays connected without having to rely only on satellites. Pretty cool, right? Also, the MQ-9 Reaper is pretty cool because it has these really fancy sensors and communication stuff that makes it great for a wide area surveillance. The Reaper is pretty awesome because it can cover huge areas of the ocean for a long time. It would totally help us keep track of what's going on in the sea and make our naval operations even stronger. The MQ-9 Reaper could actually be pretty useful in anti-submarine warfare. It's not just for surveillance. So basically, the drone can use these cool wing-mounted pods to carry sonobuoys. These sonobuoys help the drone collect acoustic data, which it can then send back to the ship or the helicopters that are hunting submarines. They can analyze and make use of this data. Pretty neat, right? This application could really make naval ASW efforts even better. Yeah, it's really fascinating how the MQ-9 Reaper drones keep evolving and adapting. It just goes to show how crucial it is to stay ahead in the world of aerial technology and military capabilities. The US military understands that as conflicts and potential adversaries change, it's important to invest in advanced systems that can adapt to new threats and tackle emerging challenges. The MQ-9 Reaper is a great example of how well this approach has worked. Yeah, it's been able to stay relevant and useful on the modern battlefield because of all the continuous upgrades and advancements it had. It's really interesting how the drone went from being used for counterterrorism to being a valuable asset in big power warfare situations. It just goes to show how important it is for military equipment to be adaptable and versatile. So to sum it up, the MQ-9 Reaper is definitely one of the most dangerous and effective military drones out there. The way it's evolved and keeps getting better shows how modern warfare is always changing and how important it is to have platforms that can adapt and do many different things. Yeah, as technology keeps advancing and strategies keep changing, it looks like the MQ-9 Reaper will still be super important for the United States and its allies. It's going to help them tackle whatever challenges come their way in the future. This was all for today. Don't forget to press that like button if you found the video helpful. Also, subscribe to our channel to watch more interesting videos like this. Thanks for watching!